Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today is a little bit different. Today being a nice spring day out, it's a little bit drizzly. We're working on videos. I like to go back and reflect on how the winter went, sort of like an after action report. And this allows me to see what went well, what didn't go well, and any improvements that I need to do. So this winter was like many winters in the past, especially growing up. We got to -20 for a couple of nights in the row there. That's -20 degrees Fahrenheit. And we were below 0 degrees Fahrenheit for almost a whole week in a row. And like I said, we're sort of used to that, but the past decade or so, it's been rather mild winters comparative to that. And one thing I did in preparation for it being so cold was I got some thermal blackout curtains. Now on the lower left you can see what the curtain looks like with it open. The upper left you can see what the back door looks like with the curtain closed. And then the upper middle is the door with the curtain open. This is about -15 degrees out. This was early that morning, just after the sun got up. And you can see that whole door, the glass door, is just under 50 degrees, and it's radiating that cold inside. Now, if you look at the bottom center, you can see that the cold right there in the lower section of the door is only 22, and that just radiates right across and out towards your feet when you're there. You can see the radiant floor right there sort of slowing down. I have a secondary rug on top right there to help catch all the snow and mud and dirt, which is slowing down the heat right there at the doorway a little bit, but not too bad. As you can see in the lower right hand corner with the window closed, it's a significant difference. It's easily 25 degrees difference, and that's drastic when you're talking -20 degrees outside and heat saved and BTU saved. Now, if you look at the upper right and the upper center, you can see, again, it's at least a 15-degree difference that's not radiating cold out to you. As a matter of fact, with the curtain closed right there, it's only about 5 degrees off of what the room temperature is. So that's not bad versus 20 degrees off of what the room temperature is. You can really feel that radiating out. Now, this is a 7x7 sliding glass door that covers the entire wall right there. And if you look at the left again, you can see how just pushing it out of the way lets in an enormous amount of light, and you have full access to the door. During the springtime, summer, and fall, whenever it's not going to be that cold, you can easily take this blackout curtain off and store it for those 3 seasons. Or what I do is I just push it further to the left, and you lose in total about a quarter of the sliding glass door, quarter of half of it. So maybe an eighth of the entire entryway you won't be able to see, but you can't move that half the door anyway, so it's right out of the way. I like leaving it like that most of the time. It saves me time of taking it on and putting it off. But that just goes to show the amount of BTUs and thermal heat saved with a simple $20 blackout thermal curtain. Now I'm going to swap over real quick. And here we have my doorway to the breezeway. And as you can see by the center picture right there, it's not thermally insulated at all. This was taken a few minutes later after I did the radiance of the back door. After opening and closing the curtains to get proper thermal fluctuations and get the thermal settled, I waited about a half hour to take all of the pictures. So with the curtain closed, you can see versus the curtain open, that's easily a 13 to 15 degree differential. Again, it's not radiating out into the room too badly versus the 30 and the 36 of the door. Now, as you can see in the lower left-hand picture here, the door opens and closes just fine with the curtain rod there. You can easily take the curtain and curtain rod right off for the warmer seasons if you want. But what I like to do is I just push it all the way to the left there. It tucks behind that filing cabinet quite nicely. And then it just can stay there for whenever I need it. Now, the breezeway is at about 0 degrees here. Like I said, outside it's about -15. And one thing you want to do with this, I don't seal this at all. One thing you want to make sure you do with this is you want to make sure that that entire wall behind the curtain is still getting some heat so that it doesn't start to separate the breezeway from the house with differential and foundations and having that whole thing settle and whatnot. You'll see that more if you try and isolate parts of basements and their entrances, especially if they're the cupola style entrance where you walk out of the basement and then up a set of stairs. You'll see that sometimes if you try and seal the actual wall of the basement, the stairs are separate, they don't get heated, you'll see that start to walk away. But as the entire breezeway is not, the actual breezeway is well outside of the perimeter that the curtain covers, you don't have to worry about it with this. One thing I might do is get a thicker curtain next year, or just replace this entire door, hope for a better seal, and get one that's thermally insulated as well. So that's good enough for this video. Just the benefits of curtains and thermal blackout curtains over your doorways, over your windows. Being a swing shift operator, a lot of times I have all my windows and curtains blacked out anyways, and I use these same blackout thermal curtains there too, which during cold nights and cold days with them shut, it saves a lot of BTUs, a lot of energy, and can help a lot of people stay warm. Now you'll see this is why a lot of people have larger rugs or curtains on their walls too, especially if they have thin walls or they're in apartments. That helps add noise reduction as well as thermal gain. So hope this helps. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. And I hope you guys are enjoying the nice warm weather of spring.